Hey y'all, I just wanted to preface this video by saying that this was originally supposed to be a part of episode 2 of Euphoria Confessions, but it was so long and I didn't want to upload a 25-minute Euphoria Confessions video, so I just made it its own separate video. I hope you enjoy. I already made a Euphoria Confessions episode 1, so we're just gonna get straight into it with this comment that was left by Euphoria Edits on my first video. And it reads, I read a crazy theory on their page, Euphoria Confessions, that I thought you might be interested to hear. Someone is going to find Rue after she ODs, because during the All For Us finale song, the choir chants 30 times, which is the number of compressions needed to perform CPR, and the pauses are them giving her air, so someone had found her and is attempting to give her CPR. I think that person is going to be Lexi, because after Cassie said to Lexi,
"You can do whoever the fuck you want,"
maybe Lexi mustered up the courage to confess her feelings for Rue.
I'm gonna do that.
Yes, I'm one of those people who believe she's in love with Rue. I do too. So she attempts to text Rue. Just before Nate's date comes to the table, we see her texting someone. But then Rue doesn't respond. She decides to go straight to her house because she's drunk. And then by the time she reaches Rue's house, she finds Rue unconscious on the floor. So Lexi immediately begins to perform CPR on Rue. This kind of makes sense since Lexi has always been portrayed as the one who saves everyone when something bad is about to happen, so to see her literally saving Rue's life can make a lot of sense as to why Sam chose to portray her in that sense. It also makes sense because the only people who would find Rue are her mom, Gia, Lexi, and Fez. So by process of elimination, it can't be Rue's mom because she's chilling at Jules' house that night with Jules' dad. It can't be Fez because he was beating some guy up to get money for Mouse's drugs. So the only two viable options are Gia and Lexi. I honestly don't think they would make Gia find Rue unconscious for the second time, because why would they repeat the exact same scene of Gia finding Rue unconscious when we've already seen it play out in Rue's first OD? So that leaves us with Lexi, which could work because that would set up her significant season 2 story arc, which Sam has already confirmed is definitely coming. What do you think about this? I saw this comment, I went back and watched, and I actually think this theory holds some type of weight because of the fact that we are in that last scene. It's not reality. We're not in reality. We are experiencing her euphoria. So I think that the whole thing with the 30 times, number of compressions, I think that actually makes sense because when you watch Euphoria so much, you notice that nothing is done on accident. Everything has a purpose. Everything is done for some reason. So considering the fact that the season finale wasn't too crazy, it wasn't horrible, but we still have a lot of unanswered questions. I think they set up a lot to be answered in season 2. So I think that whole thing carries weight. I actually like that theory. And as far as Lexi being the one to find her, that makes sense to me as well because like Euphoria Edits said, it makes no sense for Gia to find Rue again. Hopefully we'll get a storyline with Gia next season, but we still haven't really seen how her dad's death and Rue's whole situation has affected her. We see her be a little timid around Rue and her mom, like when she was just, kind of sitting at the door, making sure Rue was okay. We've seen that type of thing, but we haven't seen how her actual behavior has changed or anything like that. So it would make zero sense for her to find Rue overdose twice, and we don't even know how her psychology is affected. And like with Lexi, that makes sense, especially what you said about that leading to her having a story arc, because if you go to Euphoria Edits page, they have a video basically saying why Lexi and Rue are in game. And one of the reasons is the fact that in the original script, they did not write Rue and Lexi having a kiss during Rue's sexual history thing. So the point that Euphoria Edits made is that, they inserted that on purpose. Just like I said earlier, nothing is done on accident with this show. Absolutely nothing. Everything has a purpose. So, there has to be a reason why they inserted that clip for some reason, So I think that totally makes sense. Oh man, how do I explain this? I just think it's Lexi's turn. I'm not saying that I think you know, Lexi and Rue need to be together. They need a relationship because, you know, we all know Rue absolutely does not need to be in a relationship right now. But, you know, we haven't seen enough of Lexi. Like, you know, it's time for her to get her story. But, you know, I'll just say it like this. In the second episode, after Rue was on stage and everything, and Lexi was in the stall with her, after Rue basically cussed her out for scaring her and make her flush her drug, Lexi has seen Rue at her worst. And not to take anything away from Jules, of course, but when the going got rough, she made Rue, you know, get her shit together. But I mean, Rue hasn't went to Jules for clean urine for a drug test. I mean, she has seen her through her worst. She's seen her when she was really in the middle of her addiction before the season started, the part that we didn't get to see, and before she met Jules. So I just think that whole dynamic of her, like, seeing Rue at her worst, at her absolute worst, it's still being there for her, still wanting to be with her and all that stuff, that's gonna be a good point in her story to watch. Because it's like, okay, like, I'm freaking here. Like, where's Jules? Nothing against Jules, but like, where's Jules? Where was Jules then? You know, where's Jules now? I'm here. I've been here. Why are you worried about Jules? I'm right here, type of thing. And I think with Euphoria Edit's theory that they brought up, her finding Rue overdose is a nice way to kind of, you know, start that storyline, because I see Jules being away for a lot of the season. I don't think her and Rue are going to be in the same town for a majority of the season. So I think it's kind of going to be like the way that Jules and Rue had their storyline together, and then Jules had her own thing going on. We're going to have that same type of dynamic with Rue and Lexi this time. So we're going to see, you know, how Rue acts with Lexi, you know, how their relationship is and all that type of thing. And I'm excited for it. It would just be something nice to see. You know, this is just my opinion. This is not fact. This is just with this, you know, thinking of this theory, this is just where my brain assumes that this is going to go. It would just be a nice contrast, because for the people who ship Rue with somebody, it's either Lexi or Jules or Nate if you're mentally fucked. But it's, you know, it's one of those two. So it would be nice. It would be very, very nice if first season we see, okay, this is how Rue is with Jules. Second season, this is how Rue is with Lexi. And then third season, she's finally mentally stable enough to be in a relationship with somebody. And then boom, there we go. Somebody, one half of the fan base gets what they want. So I actually really like this theory. I think it's a perfect way to set up Lexi's storyline. So thank you, Euphoria Edits, for your comment. Y'all go check out their page. It's really dope, especially if you love Euphoria. I'm telling y'all. I've already subscribed. Go check them out. Thank you again.